Tray Subway cup, I filled it up. Let's have an AMC party. I'm ready to party. Alright, guys. I'm gonna get real for a second. So, some of the issues or some of the things that I've been finding out here recently is that what we've been seeing is that these flows, these trades, or stock buys, stock sells, they're all being transferred between institutions. So let's just say you got, and I'm going to use Lou's scenario behind stuff. You got the big D's and the little D's. So you got these big D's that are transferring funds back and forth between each other. Okay? They're buying and selling same time. And they're going back and forth. That's one thing. Second thing, same thing for the little D's. They do the same thing. They just go back and forth between each other. Buying and selling. Buying and selling. Because they're all fucked. Number 3. There are multiple funds that are set up within each hedge fund organization that they are just trading it back and forth in between those funds. To where, like I said, this whole algorithm, this whole thing right now, how they trading back and forth, it's fucked. Let's just be real. Don't get me wrong, it's fucking brilliant how they're doing this. But at the same time, it's fucking everybody else. It's fucking the retail investor. So, in my opinion, I'm actually sitting here waiting on one major thing to happen. Because, let's be honest, they don't have to do shit. They don't have to cover. They won't have to do anything because we've already seen what just happened with them on the threshold list and got knocked off. Because all they did was just transfer it over to get them off the list. They can continue to do this for however fucking long they want to. Until it gets to the point where, A, no one's willing to give them anything anymore. You can't borrow anymore, or they just get bled dry to where they can't afford to borrow any more shares to put shares on loan or whatever the case may be, because the interest is going to eventually catch up to them. That's the first scenario. Second one is they ain't going to be able to continue to keep doing this if, in the reality of things, which should happen, they get margin called. To where, alright, there's so much pressure, there's all eyes right now are on AMC, primarily AMC, but GME too. But all eyes are on them. And at some point in time, they're going to be like, hey, look, shit's coming down the pike. We've got to be serious about this. We got to do what we're supposed to be doing all along. Or 3, the third option. What happens if that algorithm gets switched off? Has anybody ever thought about that? What would happen if how this AI, this, whatever you want to call it, computer system, gets killed? In my opinion, there's a slight possibility that sumbitch might get fried. That whole switch, that whole algorithm, that whole trading process back and forth might just get turned off. What would happen then? Has anybody ever thought about that? I'm going to call it the dead man switch. And there's only a few people that I know with the dead man switch. Still a possibility. We may see this happen. And if that does happen, them some bitches gonna be screwed big time. They can be like, what the fuck happened? Where'd the system go? It's gone. Somebody stepped in and said, no, We tired of the fuckery. Y'all done. Which, it's a possibility. It's just a theory I have. No, it's not like a big conspiracy or nothing like that. There's just some things that I see that most people don't, that kind of add up for me. Just saying. But at the end of the day, what we're seeing is they're going to keep going back and forth. They're going to keep trading between themselves. They're going to keep driving the price down because that's how they've been doing it. Because you know damn good and well, ain't that many fucking people. I mean, even if you look at it, I think what today was, we were what? Upper 30 million as far as the volume. I don't think there's that many fucking people that are trading or selling. It's all institutions, you know. And if you start going back and you looking at how many shares that they've borrowed, now granted, let's not get into the whole synthetic shares, naked, whatever you want to call it. Let's not get into that, because in the reality of it, we've seen since, I mean, I'm talking about 6, 7, 8 months ago, where they were borrowing shares to play against this. And you start kind of adding those numbers up, and you can kind of see what they're doing. They're just trading it back and forth, trying to drive the price down. We come in and start buying up some of those shares. So they really don't have that many shares to keep messing with unless they're creating them. But that's another story. But at the end of the day, what I'm saying is that what's the possibility, which granted, I said the first two, you know, they get bled dry, they just don't have the money anymore to keep doing it, number one. Number two, the big dogs actually do step in and do their job, and they get forced to. Or number three, kill switch. Take that in consideration. What would happen if that fucking system went obsolete? Bye-bye. In the words of you-know-who, vanquished. And some bitches will be gone real quick. So, again, my opinion is that this is a huge possibility that there may already be certain people in play fixing to kill this switch. Dead man switch. Know what I mean? We may see this sucker go bloop. Bloop. It's gone. But only time will tell. Let's see what happens though. Most of y'all already know what the real numbers are. Y'all have seen the research. Y'all have seen people talk about it. I've been fortunate enough to kind of have a little bit more of an insight because of some of the people that I do know that I've, you know, if you granted, you can look me up, you'll be able to see, you know, I mean, hell, from Louisiana. But there was a time when I was dumb enough to run for Congress, got to meet a lot of people, have some really good friends in that arena. And yeah, I trust me when I tell you this, I've questioned a lot of people on how to come when y'all get elected, y'all become like multi-millionaires. Like, y'all know shit y'all shouldn't be knowing before the people know it. So, I've already voiced my opinion on that. They all know how I feel. You know, and there's laws against that, but yet guess what? They still do it. You don't believe me? You can go to, what's the Unusual Wells. Go look at their trading. UnusualWells.com. Go look at their traders. They got the list of people up there. They got the list of congressmen and stuff. Look at what they're investing in. We already see this. When Biden came out with that whole infrastructure bill, I guarantee you they're heavily investing in different stocks. You know, anticipating what's fixing to happen. I know I got a lot of gray hairs, so. But guys, again, check it out, and I'll be with y'all again soon. I'll show y'all some more stuff coming up, so y'all stay tuned.